And your piece really hinted at the future of Tesla, and I want to read part of it because you wrote that the most recent departures, quote, underscore a continuing problem that Tesla's board appears uninterested in solving, the lack of a strong executive team and a clear succession plan for the post-Musk era. And he has some goals that he has to hit, some lofty goals here in order to get that $1 trillion pay package within the next decade. But can you imagine, or is there a world where Elon Musk leaves Tesla anytime soon? Because I can't really imagine a Tesla without Elon Musk. And you've said this in this conversation as well as conversations in the past. There's Elon Musk, a very thin C-suite that apparently is getting much thinner, and then most of the employees are rank and file. So is there anyone that could ever replace Elon Musk, do you think?
Within the company, honestly, there's no one who comes to mind in-house. Tesla once had a pretty broad set of executives who did a lot of things. The cupboard is bare. There's been so much turnover, so many departures. I can't tell you right now who has real authority and who would be a clear number two. It's and that point about the board, I mean, this is reality. Like there is no succession plan. If something were to happen to Elon, if he gets hit by a bus tomorrow, Tesla's in trouble. There is no one waiting in the wings to take over. And I think Elon wants it that way. I don't think he sees the company with a future without him. To your point, would he leave the company? I can't see him doing that or doing anything that would harm his wealth, because all of his wealth is tied to Tesla at this point. So it's mutually assured destruction. If he leaves, it's bad for the company. If the company gets rid of him, it's bad for the company. So they're just kind of locked into the situation. But it is really, it's quite something where there is no clear successor. There's no president. There's no COO. Right now, I think I'm not even sure there's an executive vice president at the moment. I don't know if anyone holds the title higher than senior vice president. And that's unusual. I think you can look at any public company, any large public company, and there's a pretty big C-suite. There are a lot of executives there, and that is simply not the case at Tesla. And many in the past who looked like they could be successors have left and are doing different things and are at General Motors and at Ford and many other places where they've just decided to move on. So that seems pretty risky because people don't last forever and things happen. So you always want to have a backup plan, and I don't have a clue what the board's backup plan is.
And do you think that this indicates at all that Elon Musk is going to have a shift in strategy when it comes to the future of Tesla? Because after he was awarded that $1 trillion pay package, after the shareholders voted for it, he was laying out the future of Tesla, and it seemed like he was bored of electric vehicles. It seemed like he was really into AI and robotics, and that's what was exciting him. As you and I have talked about time and time again, those aren't the money makers. They haven't made Tesla any money. It's the EVs that are, it's the batteries that are, it's the charging stations that are. Do you think that this exodus shakes anything up when it comes to Elon's vision?
No. I think it's aligned with where he is right now, that he's just not prioritizing the auto business. He did talk about two products that are supposed to come out next year. The Tesla Semi, which is many years delayed, is apparently finally going to come to market. It's an electric semi truck with 500 miles of EV range. But at best, that only adds several thousand units of additional sales to the company. Commercial trucks, full-size Class 8 commercial semis, that's not a big market. I think it's fewer than 100,000 trucks that sell annually versus 16 or 17 million passenger vehicles. So it's a much smaller market. And if Tesla sells 10 or 20,000 semis, that's huge within the trucking industry, but that's not an incredible amount of additional revenue. So even if it comes out, I think it's questionable how big a component that's going to be for the business. The other product that's a curiosity is the Cybercab, which he promises goes into production in April. The challenge with that is it's a two-door product, a two-door electric car that apparently was what was being called for a long time the Model 2, the Tesla Model 2, that Elon said last year the company wasn't going to do. He said, we're never going to sell anything that's not fully autonomous from this time forward. So he claims as of April that that product will go into production and would be on sale shortly thereafter with no steering wheel, no pedals, no side mirrors, and with full autonomous capability. There are two challenges to that. Number one, as we've talked about in the past, Tesla is not the leader in autonomous vehicles and does not yet have a fully autonomous vehicle, despite the name full self-driving. Waymo does, but Waymo is not selling you an autonomous vehicle. They will let you ride in them in their RoboCab service. So number one, setting aside the technical challenges that Tesla has not yet proven that it's mastered, that it can, produce a safe, fully autonomous vehicle, is the fact that by law, no automaker can sell a car to consumers that has no steering wheel, no pedals, and no side mirrors. And that's because of NHTSA regulations. Federal regulations dictate certain things must be on the vehicle. If you want to do something like that, sell a product like that that doesn't have those features, the mirrors, the pedals, the wheel, you need a waiver from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Zoox, for example. Zoox is a robotaxi company that wants to compete with Waymo. Zoox has a custom-built robotaxi. It has no steering wheel. It has no controls at all. It doesn't look like a regular car. Whereas Waymo is using modified electric vehicles for its fleet. Zoox is going through a regulatory approval process, and it's been very long. It has received a waiver to operate its vehicle on public roads, and it's still getting to the point where it gets final approval to deploy these unusual, unique vehicles in a public commercial robotaxi fleet. So it's been working through this process for the last couple of years. I don't know where Tesla is in that process of negotiating with NHTSA and seeking the approval. There's been nothing from the company talking about this, about where that stands. But separate from the ability of Tesla to offer a fully autonomous driving system is the fact that as of today, legally, they cannot sell a car like the one that he described. And so when you think about this strategically, is he announcing something that he doesn't yet have legal clearance to sell and produce? Maybe. So this may be another, curious issue. Elon over the years has set many goals and targets that the company has failed to hit. At the moment, Cybercab going into production in April and coming out as the product he talked about last week, I don't know how that happens, but I could be wrong. Behind the scenes, maybe there have been deep negotiations with NHTSA. Maybe this is very far along. We shall see. But at the same time, NHTSA is currently investigating Tesla FSD because of its poor safety record. So it's hard to know what to make of this. And then, of course, his other big issue is Optimus, the robots. And to your point, that's really where he got passionate last week when he was talking about Optimus robots. And he believes there is going to be a limitless market, that everyone wants essentially a robot slave. That's what it is. It's like, I don't know what else you call it. He thinks they'll be providing healthcare. He thinks they'll be working with law enforcement. I mean, just any number of things. And all of that sounds exciting, but as of today, they don't have a working, functional humanoid robot that they can sell that would do anything. And he claims maybe it'll only cost $20,000. We shall see. But it all seems really speculative at the moment.
And to that point, is there any indication that these crime-fighting, healthcare assisting robots are going to be able to be profitable, to turn a profit for Tesla, to be mass-produced anytime soon?
I have no idea. I couldn't begin to tell you that. That's a whole different set of metrics. What he did mention was they're going to be doing the first production line for Optimus at the Fremont, California plant, which has historically been their main plant. I think the acknowledgement that Fremont, some of its capacity is going to be converted to making humanoid robots is a reflection of the fact that Tesla's EV sales are not going to be what the company had anticipated. I think officially Tesla has about 2 million units of production capacity at its various plants in the US, Germany, and China, but it's tracking to only sell about 1.5 to 1.6 million EVs. So it has a surplus of factory capacity at the moment. 2 years ago, they were getting ready to add a plant in Mexico. There were on again, off again talks about India. None of that's happening right now. So it seems already a signal that the auto business is no longer the rising tide for Tesla, and that he's already making plans for what comes next. I really have no clue on the potential profitability of a humanoid robot. That's far beyond anything I know. I don't know anybody who knows that. I mean, Boston Dynamics has been doing humanoid robots and dog robots and animal-shaped robots for a very long time that are way more impressive in terms of their capabilities than anything we've seen from Tesla so far. And I'm pretty sure Boston Dynamics is not making any money off of those things right now.
Well, there's certainly a lot to look out for. Per usual, I appreciate the reporting. Alan, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Brittany. Always good to be with you.